Hello everyone, this is Brigand Boy, back playing another game of Heroes of the Storm, and this time I'm going to go ahead and try and talk about a subject which is actually kind of close to home for me because of my decision to be a sociology major back when I went to college, actually fairly recently. I mean, I've been in college and out of college for a while, but this is a fairly recent, like 5 years ago kind of decision, and I had a friend of mine really convinced me to go back. And I have a lot of respect for that friend because I think he's a very intelligent man. And he ended up graduating as a sociology with a sociology major. And he's done a lot of work in sociology. And so that's really what this video is going to be about, because there's relevantly right now, there's kind of a little bit of relevance right now. There's a petition by Sargon of Akkad to suspend social justice warrior or SJW movement in in colleges right now and universities. Now, I'm fairly sure that the petition actually is directed towards universities in his country, but it's on change.org. I'll go ahead and leave the link in the description. The reason I bring this up is because, like I said, the petition is there, but also because I kind of agree with them. I agree that social justice and SJW movements are more of an ideology than they are as science. I don't think it's a STEM field. Well, I do think that sociology can be, and I think that it should be, and I think at its best it is. But when you bring in activism, when you try and make it into something of a movement rather than a science, rather than research, it's no longer STEM, it's no longer science. Now it's ideology. It's a religion at worst. It's an ideology at best. And I understand the need to do something when you see something out of whack. I do. I understand the need to stand up and say, hey, this isn't right. We shouldn't have done that. I shouldn't have done that. But no, I mean, it doesn't make sense to it makes sense if you see something wrong to try and fix it. I am gonna die. I am so gonna die. Okay. Maybe not. Maybe he'll die first. No, I'm gonna die first. Oh god, run away. Anyway, so I understand the motivation behind seeing something wrong in the world, in society, as a group or whatever, and wanting to fix it. But that's really not what sociology is supposed to be. And the reason I'm bringing this up is because a lot of what I see that's wrong with, like feminism and sociology in general and all that stuff. I mean, really what I see it is, and I've had this discussion with my friend as well, is the terminologies that they're using. Generally, it's academic terminology that they're using, and they're using it in layman's terms, but they're misusing it. I mean, a lot actually. They're really not using the terms the way they should. Come on. Ah, that sucks. I suck. So, like feminism, for instance, they use it as a term for a movement, but in reality, feminism is actually it's a term that describes a discipline in sociology. It's just a section of study. That's all it is. It's just a focus of study for sociology. And sociology is just supposed to be the interaction of individuals between groups and groups to individuals. So that's really all it's supposed to be. And what has it become? It has become, air conditioners are sexist. Air conditioners in offices are sexist. That's what it's become. It's not about educating young girls in other countries or making sure that they're not generally mutilated or anything like that. No. It's literally about whinging about anything and everything all the time. I'm gonna die again. This is one of the harder bot matches I've had in a while. So maybe that's good because I might need some more time to, to actually do stuff. But yeah, so the reason I'm bringing this up is because the SJW thing has become like really popular in universities, and I don't believe that it should continue the way it is. It's destroying one of the few things that I actually really liked college for, which was, I am not going up there. That's not happening. No, it's yeah, they got that one, guys. You lost this one, bro. You lost this one. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, that's no, I'm good. I'm gonna switch lanes too, cause to hell with that. I don't know. It's not like I can go up there and actually take them on. Not with three of us. This is such a bad idea. What is he doing? Why did he go up there at all? I don't understand. Like, why are they even charging? There wasn't even 5 of us. I understood I was part of that, but it was so stupid. Jesus Christ. I'm doing horrible. Let me see how many deaths I've got. 3. I've got 3 deaths. No kills, no assists. This is bad. Well, anyway. So, just to be a little bit more clear, when I was in school, I had a class that it wasn't even a women's studies class of any kind. It wasn't even a gender studies class. It was family. It was like family and I forget what it was, but it was supposed to be centered around like, what family does to people and why it affects people and all that stuff. And it was pretty interesting. But one of the videos that showed me was I always cite her. It's Kilborn. I believe it's Jean Kilborn. Hey, women in advertising. Hey, good job, guys. Hey, nice. Why don't you just keep backing off? That's cool. I'm gonna just go ahead and go all the way back here now. Because to hell with that. Hey, we killed one thing! Oh my god, I feel great. I'm so glad that Malfurion is hearthing the entire time. That's some good stuff, man. That's some really good stuff. Anyway, so we watched this video called Women in Advertising. And what basically she tried to explain was that if, because women are always hyper objectified in advertising, they're hypersexualized, they're made into objects to be, attained. This leads to violence against women in real life. So I was sitting in the class and I'm listening to this stuff and I'm going, okay, well, I mean, the first part where she makes observations about how people are objectified, women specifically are objectified in advertising. I'm like, yeah, you've got a point there. I mean, it's clear right there. Yeah, she's being objectified. She's got no clothes on. She's just an object. I totally get that. Yeah. And then she'd say that thing like, and so that leads to violence against women. And I go, wait, hold on a second. You just jumped from this to that without any evidence. There's no evidence for that. Where's the evidence that this kind of objectification has led to violence? Like, where is that? There is no evidence for that. I mean, she's making it up, and people just take it as fact. It was that video by I think her name is Jean Kilborn. I'm gonna die. It was that video that really kind of made me go, wait a minute. Because I already kind of felt that there were some things wrong, but this one is the first one that I just really hit home. Like, wow, they don't even mention that the men are usually oafish, kind of stupid. Usually the women are the ones, the smart ones, that they're not really useful. Men are not really useful, or even, like, they're not essential in any way in any of the advertisements I saw. They're just as much like side pieces as the women were. They were just objectified, but it was all focused on women. And I understand that was just her area of study, but man, God, our group's just not really. I shouldn't have played Shen. Sucks playing warrior. Wow, man, we really suck. Anyway, I understood, that was her area of study. It's just, women rather than men. I got that. But the fact is that they were teaching it in class as if it were fact. Not conjecture, not a hypothesis, not a interesting idea, but fact. And they weren't calling attention to any of the weirdness, any of the inconsistencies. The fact that basically they were assuming things without actually having evidence for it. That's a big inconsistency for science. Or science! I am so dead. Yep, again. I'm just going to avoid team fights from now on. I'm out. I mean, we're probably going to lose this one. We're three levels behind. It's kind of shitty. against bots, against elite bots, which are actually usually easier than adept. Working on this. This is so bad. But yeah, so basically, I've had experience with it myself. I actually took an ethnic relations like class. I took that for about half a semester, and I had to drop out of it because I got pretty sick. But I was happy to drop out of it because I was a white cis straight male in a class full of people who think that I am racist because of my skin color. It was just so strange. It was the strangest thing to see a bunch of people just assume that I was racist because I am of a certain race. How surreal is that? You know, you read about that in school books when you're like 7 or 6. You know how people used to treat people differently because they were a different skin color, and then you can go to college as a grown up. You go back to college. You know, I am a millennial, but I'm on the ass end of millennial. I'm almost Generation X, almost, very, very close to it, but I am unfortunately a millennial. And I mean, I consider myself an adult. I consider myself grown up, and to see that, to see a bunch of people just kind of just to take it for granted, like, oh yeah, no, totally, it's true. What do you mean it's true? What do you mean that white people are absolutely going to be racist just because they're white? That's a little weird to hear. That sounds insane, actually, but they believe it with zeal, and the evidence that they'll give you are going to be almost invariably personal accounts and usually emotional appeals. You know, like as in, you don't know my experience. Of course I don't. I didn't live your life. But usually that's the main thing is what it comes down to. Is just the gist of you can't know what this is like, so you can't speak on it, which drives me nuts. I've noticed that that's usually what it is. You know, it's usually what the argument boils down to is I am this and you're not, and so I know what this is and you don't, and so you should take my word for it, and that's that. Basically, it's a more complicated version of Anita's listen and believe bullshit. It's just bullshit. And the thing is, you know, you really can't argue against it. I mean, you really can't. If you're, you know, white cis male and you're sitting there listening to these people who are obviously really angry. I mean, they're just really angry, and they're angry at people who look like you, which means that they're angry at you. You haven't done anything to them. You haven't like, you know, beat up their sister or or gotten in a fight with their brother, or you know, you haven't like sued them or taken their land from them. You've done nothing. You've done nothing except exist, and that's enough. There's no way to fight against that kind of hatred, that kind of just abject anger. And the thing is, most people who feel this way, they have a good reason for feeling this way. Usually they've actually been, you know, fucked around with, or they've actually encountered some pretty crappy behavior. But, you know, just like any human, they'll do things... Oh, I'm gonna die again. That's cool. I'm definitely dead. This is good shit. Anyway, just like any human, they'll take the bad behavior that they've experienced and they'll turn it on other people just to kind of get by. And that's just the way humans are. So they may have, you know, they may have gone through a lot of bad stuff, but that doesn't mean that they should be able to put other people through that same bad stuff. It's kind of what I'm getting at. And a lot of these classes seem to be predicated on that. Basically, you know, white people were horrible to people who were not white for centuries, and thus we are justified in treating anybody who isn't, you know, marginalized like shit. It's such a weird philosophy. I mean, they aim to try to make everything equal, right? By giving power to people who don't have it, and yet the people that have it are those who can speak. You know, you can't speak if you're cisgendered and white and not an idiot or whatever. You know, you don't have any, pardon my language, but, you know, seriously, like, if you don't have any disadvantages, you're not allowed to speak. What kind of weird system is that? You know, and what are those disadvantages? Usually they're things you're born with. They're not something you developed, you know. And that's another thing. Saying that your skin color is a disadvantage, that's incredibly infantilizing. It just is. It's just... I don't know what that would be like. I mean, I do know what it would be like, but I I can't speak for anybody who's a different color than me. I can't. I mean, I can only speak for... Well, that sucks. This is gonna be bad. Come on, come on, come on. There we go. Hey, look at that. We're actually team fighting, and we're not sucking at it. Well, I mean, not terribly anyway. Oh my god, die already. There we go. So yeah, I've encountered that. I've encountered actual racism, and that's weird for me because I'm was led to believe that as a white guy I was not supposed to ever encounter racism. I certainly hoped it would never happen. Honestly, I hoped it would never happen. I hope that it would just stay behind people's backs and nobody would actually just straight up tell me that I'm a horrible person because of my skin color. But yeah, I've had people tell me that that I should be ashamed because I'm white. That's that's baffling and distressing, really distressing. Okay, now we're not sucking ass. It's probably because I decided not to be in any team fights for a while. Yeah, I'm just gonna go with I was the problem, and I fixed the problem by not being there. All right, hey, come on now. I really wish Malfurion and Diablo would stop pinging the Mac for just random shit. That's kind of annoying. So yeah, to kind of like wrap this up because I think this is gonna go longer than I think the match is gonna go longer than my point. SJW is not the movements of SJW are not sociology. They are not a science. They're not a study. They're not in any way meant for college, and I believe that. I believe that wholeheartedly. I believe that because I've seen a lot of evidence to support what I'm just saying now. It's poisoning the well for what sociology actually is, and I think we should get rid of it, or at least suspend it until we can see whether or not it should be taught in colleges. And certainly, I don't think it should be taught as a science. It can be taught as something like theology. It can be taught as philosophy, but those things they just operate on logic. They don't operate on evidence. Just like a religion. Religions operate on logic. They don't operate on evidence either. Artanis, go fuck yourself, man. Seriously, I'm tired of your pinging. No, he doesn't have to go fuck himself, but it's really annoying. So anyway, if you guys have any kind of opinion on the matter yourself and you'd like to see some change yourself, there is a petition. Like I said, I'll leave a link in the description for it. Like I said, Sargon of Akkad has a couple videos up that are much better than mine. Much better. He's also way richer than I am. And I mean, as far as YouTube goes, I think he's got a much better bunch of resources than I do. Oh my god, don't stand in the way, you asshole. And yeah, you should go check it out. If you agree with it, feel free to sign the petition. And if you don't agree with it, then don't sign the petition. Or let me know why. Let me know why you think I'm a jerk and should shut the fuck up. Feel free. Even if you're a random person on the internet, tell me how much of a jerk I am. Go for it. I love it. Actually, I don't love it. I hate it. I hate everything. And my suffering. Alright. It was really interesting to me to see just how stupid people were being in college about sociology. It's just crazy. That race and ethnicity class was just wow. I couldn't believe it. It blew my mind. I came back to my house and I told the people here just like I just couldn't. I had to explain it and they just looked at me like I was crazy. Like, are you serious? Like, no, that's not a real thing. That's not a real class. And I'm like, yeah, it's totally a thing. I wish I was making it up. I wish I was just telling you this stuff so I could get a rise out of you. But no, it's true. It's totally true. Yeah. So are we going to take the boss, or are we just gonna sit here? Okay, it's cool. We're gonna take the boss. Yay! That was not what I wanted to do. Yeah, I guess we're gonna go for the siege real quick. I'm gonna remember how to play Chin. Cool. That's not a bad team fight. We didn't get everybody. We got 2. Looks like we got 2. Yeah, 2. Better than nothing. What's that one? That's kind of cool. That's a new split up. I never saw that before. It's been a while since I played Chen. So yeah, we're gonna take this, and then that'll take out their core, it looks like. I think we're pretty much gonna win this right now. Yeah, we are. So yeah, well, maybe not. Maybe it's gonna take forever and try and take out the... Nope, there it is. That's us. So that's the video, that's the match. I hope you guys kind of got... I hope I had some coherent thoughts in there. I hope you guys actually understood what I was trying to say, that SJW movements are not sociology, and we need to kind of get SJW movements out of universities, in that they should not be taught as science. If you agree with me, feel free to check out Sargon's video and his petition and sign the petition. And if you don't, let me know why, because I am always interested in debating this particular issue. Despite how boring it sounds, it's absolutely fascinating to me. Yeah, and I hope you liked the video, and I will see you guys another time.